Story 1. On a warm summer day in 2016, I decided to take a leisurely walk to escape the pressures of school and work. Being a loner with few friends, any time away from those environments was a relief. As I strolled along a trail, enjoying the fresh air, I heard a rustling sound in the nearby woods. Assuming it was just a squirrel or a bird, I didn't pay much attention. But the noise persisted and grew louder, becoming increasingly muffled as time passed. Curiosity got the better of me, and I continued walking, unaware of the impending horror. Approaching a sharp left turn in the trail, I suddenly came face to face with a person dressed as a clown. I froze, unsure of how to react. Back in 2016, there was a disturbing trend of people dressing as clowns to scare others, although most were harmless pranks. However, news reports of clowns involved in kidnappings and physical harm added a sinister edge to the situation. Despite my initial disbelief and determination not to show fear, I couldn't shake the unease that washed over me. The clown and I locked eyes, neither uttering a word. Sensing the need to leave, I cautiously stepped back as the clown started moving towards me. Battling my fear, I decided to confront him, continuing my walk while maintaining a facade of confidence. As we drew closer, my heart pounded faster, but I refused to look back, fearing the consequences. Chuckling to myself, I realized I had successfully passed the clown without incident. I felt foolish for getting worked up over nothing. The rest of my walk proceeded without encountering the clown again. Later that evening, while making dinner at home, I thought I heard something outside. Peering through the sliding glass door into the backyard, I saw nothing. Although there were blind spots where someone could hide, I dismissed it as an overactive imagination. I locked the door and returned to cooking. Within minutes, a heavy knock reverberated through the kitchen window, causing me to jump in fright and hit my head on the cupboard. Panic set in as I grabbed a nearby knife, trying to peer through the window's darkness. Unable to see anything, I rushed the switch on the patio light. To my horror, the same clown stood on my back patio, mere feet away. Regret filled me as I wished I had confronted him earlier or scared him off. Fear overwhelmed me, and I fled upstairs to my bedroom, locking the door and dialing the police. The relentless knocking continued, growing louder with each passing moment. I couldn't comprehend why I was being targeted or how this person found my address. It felt personal, intensifying the terror. Time seemed to stretch on as I anxiously waited for the police to arrive, dreading the clown's next move. The knocking persisted, the sound echoing through the house, and then the clown began laughing maniacally. Consumed by dread, I felt as if death was imminent and that I would have to fight for my life. I imagined him breaking through the windows to attack me, the situation escalating to a life or death struggle. Finally, the distant wail of police sirens signaled their arrival. I hurried downstairs, peering through the peephole to ensure it was the real police before opening the door. I greeted them, relieved that they had come to my aid. The officers searched for the clown but found no trace of him. The incident was over and I tried to put it out of my mind. I considered myself fortunate that the clown had vanished, as if he had never existed. Since then, I have had no further encounters with clowns or anyone else for that matter. Reflecting on this chilling experience, I still find it difficult to believe that such a horrifying incident actually happened to me. You never expect something so terrifying to occur in your own life until it does. The swift arrival of the police undoubtedly saved me from a potentially tragic outcome. Ever since that night, I have been haunted by the memory of the clown's chilling laughter and the fear that gripped me. It left an indelible mark on my psyche, reminding me of the fragility of our sense of security. In the aftermath of the incident, I couldn't help but wonder about the clown's true identity and motive. How did he know where I lived? Was it a random encounter, or was there a personal connection? These questions lingered in my mind, stirring up a constant unease. I decided to take precautions to ensure my safety. I installed security cameras around my house, double-checked all the locks, and became more vigilant in my surroundings. Although time passed without any further signs of the clown, I couldn't shake the feeling that he might return one day. Months turned into years, and life gradually returned to a semblance of normalcy. However, the experience left me with a newfound appreciation for the fragility of our existence and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. Occasionally, I would come across news articles or social media posts about sightings of clowns in different parts of the country. Each time, a chill would run down my spine, reminding me of the horrors I had encountered. It seemed that the phenomenon had not entirely faded away. Yet, as time went on, the memories of that night became more distant, buried beneath the layers of daily life. I focused on my studies and work, determined not to let fear dictate my actions. Gradually, the trauma began to lose its grip on me. Now, looking back on that harrowing night, I am grateful for the bravery of the police officers who responded swiftly to my call. They truly saved my life and provided me with a sense of security that had been shattered. While the fear still lingers within me, it has transformed into a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. I am no longer defined by that night of terror, but rather by the strength and courage it awakened within me. Life goes on, and I refuse to let fear hold me captive. I continue to walk the same trails, embracing the warmth of the sun on my skin and breathing in the fresh air. The scars may remain, but they serve as a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within us all. And as I move forward, I am determined to cherish every moment, knowing that sometimes even the darkest experiences can lead us to appreciate the light. Story 2. Back in 2016, during the infamous clown era, I found myself unable to sleep one night while lying in bed, engrossed in my phone. It was much later than my usual bedtime, but for some reason, sleep eluded me. Fortunately, it was the weekend, and I didn't have to wake up early the next morning. As I lay there, on the verge of drifting off, an eerie sensation washed over me, as if someone were watching me. Trusting my instincts, I put my phone down and scanned the room. My gaze fell upon the bedroom window, right next to my bed, and there, to my horror, I saw the face of a clown pressed against the glass, peering at me. The sight sent chills down my spine, and I couldn't help but scream in terror. I hastily fled from my room, desperately searching for my father. Surprisingly, he was awake, likely startled by the sound of my scream echoing through the house. Frantically, I explained to my father that a clown was in our backyard, causing me to scream. I had always harbored a fear of clowns, but the mask this person wore was particularly creepy and disturbing. It appeared shockingly realistic, almost as if it weren't a mask at all. Without hesitation, my dad rushed outside to confront the intruder, scouring the surroundings for over 5 minutes. However, to our bewilderment, there was no sign of any clown or person anywhere. It frustrated me that my father seemed to dismiss the situation as a bad dream, urging me to go back to sleep. But I knew I wasn't dreaming, I hadn't even been asleep. Moreover, there had been a nationwide outbreak of clown sightings, fueling my certainty that what I saw was real. Disheartened by my father's lack of concern, I returned to my room, clutching a knife I had grabbed for self-defense along the way. Lying awake in bed once more, I kept the knife close, attempting to quell my anxiety. To prevent the clown from seeing inside if he were to return, I covered the window with a blanket. For nearly an hour, I wrestled with my fear, gradually convincing myself that perhaps it had all been a product of my imagination. Just as I was finally on the cusp of sleep, a faint tapping sound from the window jolted me awake. Instantly, my body went into fight or flight mode. Summoning my courage, I cautiously moved the blanket aside and peered outside, using only one eye. To my dread, I spotted a man dressed as a clown, seemingly attempting to open the window. I had no doubt anymore. This was no dream. I held my scream this time, unsure if he had noticed me observing him. Swiftly, I raced to my father's room, waking him from his slumber within seconds of my arrival. He followed me back to my bedroom, gazing out the window where the clown had been. To our astonishment, he was still there, now standing in the middle of our backyard, brandishing a bat. "Holy hell," my dad exclaimed. In a split second, he ordered me to stay put and dialed the police while he confronted the intruder. As my dad neared the clown, the masked man readied himself, preparing for my father's attack. Undeterred, my dad charged forward, and the clash ensued. In a surprising turn of events, my father managed to withstand a blow to his side and disarm the clown. Fueled by adrenaline, my dad unleashed a barrage of punches, seemingly ready to unleash his fury upon the assailant. My dad's fists rained down on the clown, unleashing a fury fueled by a mix of protectiveness and anger. It was as if he was fighting not just for me but for every person terrorized by these menacing clowns that had plagued our country. He showed no mercy, and I could see the desperation and fear in the intruder's eyes. As the struggle continued, my dad's grip tightened around the clown's throat, squeezing with a relentless force. It was a harrowing sight, witnessing my father on the verge of crossing a line, consumed by his desire to neutralize the threat and protect his family. Eventually, my dad released his grip, realizing that he had gone too far. The assailant gasped for air, coughing and struggling to regain composure. In that moment, my dad's instincts as a protector took over, and he stepped back, allowing the man to escape. Just a few minutes later, the sound of sirens filled the night air as the police arrived. We recounted the terrifying encounter to them, providing as much detail as possible. With a sense of urgency, they launched a search for the clown, scouring the area meticulously. Despite their efforts, the police were unable to locate the intruder. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a trail of fear and uncertainty. Our ordeal with the clown ended that night, and we never encountered a similar incident again. Reflecting on the incident in the following days, we found solace in the fact that nothing serious had transpired. We were safe, and my father's heroic actions had undoubtedly deterred the clown from returning. Yet, a lingering unease remained, a reminder of the darkness that lurked beyond our home's walls. Over time, the initial terror and anxiety subsided, replaced by a renewed sense of security. We tightened our home's security measures, ensuring that such an intrusion would never happen again. The blinds were always closed, and we invested in robust locks and surveillance cameras, fortifying our defenses against any potential threat. As the years passed, the memories of that horrifying night faded, tucked away in the recesses of our minds. Life moved on, and the clown craze gradually became a distant memory, a bizarre chapter in our nation's history. Looking back, I realized the profound impact that night had on me. It shaped my perception of fear, resilience, and the lengths a parent would go to protect their child. My dad's unwavering courage and sacrifice cemented his place as my hero, a role model whose strength and love guided me through the challenges of adolescence and beyond. Now, years later, I recount this story as a testament to the power of family and the indomitable spirit that can rise in the face of terror. It serves as a reminder that heroes can emerge from the most unexpected places, and that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of hope. Story 3. My name is Edgar, and the terrifying incident I'm about to recount took place last year. It was a warm summer evening, and I decided to meet up with my friends, Nathan and Oscar, at the nearby carnival that the city had organized. This annual event had become a tradition for us, offering a rare opportunity to escape our usual indoor activities and have some real fun. Living in a small town with limited entertainment options, the carnival was a welcome diversion from our mundane routines. As introverted individuals, we often preferred the company of our video game avatars to real-life interactions. However, the innate human need for socialization would occasionally stir within us, prompting us to seek shared experiences outside our digital realms. Upon arriving at the carnival, I located Nathan and Oscar and we delved into the festivities. We enjoyed thrilling rides, tested our skills at carnival games, and indulged in mouth-watering snacks. It was an evening filled with laughter and camaraderie, as we embraced the carefree spirit of the event. As the night progressed, we found ourselves at a loss for further amusement. That's when Nathan suggested exploring the circus tent, an area we hadn't yet explored. Intrigued by the prospect of discovering something new, we made our way towards the tent, anticipating one final adventure before calling it a night. Inside the tent, a group of clowns was performing on a stage, showcasing their juggling skills, dance routines, and unicycle prowess. We moved closer to the front, enthralled by their energetic performance. However, as time passed, our interest waned and we contemplated leaving. Just as we were about to depart, the clown riding the unicycle slipped and fell, inadvertently dropping his red clown nose near me. Without thinking much, I picked it up and absent-mindedly stashed it in my pocket. After all, I assumed the clown had countless spare noses and wouldn't mind one going missing. Unexpectedly, as I made eye contact with the clown, an uncomfortable feeling crept over me. His gaze seemed to linger longer than necessary, hinting at an underlying malevolence. Ignoring the unsettling encounter, I bid farewell to Nathan and Oscar, who had separate ways to go, and made my way home. On my way back, I absent-mindedly pulled out the clown nose from my pocket, marveling at this strange memento. Little did I know that the night was far from over. Suddenly, a chilling chuckle pierced the silence, jolting me from my thoughts. I turned around to find a shadowy figure standing behind me. Shining my flashlight in his direction, I recognized the figure as one of the clowns from the carnival. His voice, dripping with an eerie tone, sent shivers down my spine as he claimed I had something of his. Fear took hold as he brandished a Phillips screwdriver, threateningly pointing it towards me. In that heart-stopping moment, I relied on instinct and sprinted as fast as my legs would carry me. I darted through the woods, taking a risky shortcut that led to my neighborhood. Fear fueled my every step, and I didn't dare glance back, fearing the presence of the pursuer on my heels. Upon reaching the safety of my home, I immediately relayed the harrowing encounter to my concerned mother. Together, we decided to involve the authorities and dialed emergency services. The police arrived promptly, and I recounted the details of the incident, hoping they could take action. Sadly, their hands were tied. With no clear description of the assailant, they expressed their limitations in pursuing the case. The realization that justice might elude us fueled my frustration. I felt certain that the clown worked for a company or organization that could be contacted for further investigation. Yet, despite our efforts, we were unable to uncover the true identity of the menacing clown. The incident left me shaken and resolved never to return to that carnival again. Days turned into weeks, and life gradually returned to its usual rhythm. However, the encounter with the clown lingered in the back of my mind, casting a shadow of unease over my thoughts. I became more cautious, always scanning my surroundings for any hint of danger. One evening, while scrolling through local news articles online, a headline caught my attention: "Mysterious Carnival Clown Strikes Again." Curiosity piqued. I delved into the story, hoping for answers to the enigma that had haunted me. According to the reports, several individuals had encountered a similar clown figure at different carnivals across neighboring towns. Witnesses described eerie laughter, menacing behavior, and even reports of the clown brandishing a screwdriver, a chilling resemblance to my own experience. The unsettling news sent shockwaves through the community. Speculations and theories circulated, fueling the fear and paranoia surrounding the mysterious clown's intentions. As victims emerged, sharing their accounts of close encounters, it became clear that this was not an isolated incident. Law enforcement agencies from various jurisdictions collaborated, pooling their resources to apprehend the rogue clown terrorizing innocent carnival goers. Public awareness campaigns were launched, urging caution and vigilance, especially during festive events. Meanwhile, the local community grappled with a palpable sense of dread. Attendance at carnivals dwindled, parents worried for their children's safety, and tales of the carnival clown became the stuff of nightmares. It was as if an eerie cloud had settled over the region, casting a long shadow on its once vibrant spirit. Months passed, and despite extensive investigations, the identity of the clown remained shrouded in mystery. The authorities seemed no closer to solving the case, leaving us to wonder if we would ever find solace and closure. The story of the carnival clown eventually faded from the headlines, overtaken by new events and pressing matters. However, its impact on our lives remained, an indelible mark etched into our collective memory. The once beloved annual carnivals lost their allure, forever tainted by the sinister presence that had infiltrated our joyous traditions. To this day, I reflect on that fateful night, grateful to have escaped unscathed but haunted by the knowledge that others may not have been as fortunate. The memory of the encounter serves as a reminder that darkness can lurk even in the most seemingly innocuous places, forever altering our perception of safety and the world around us. As I gaze upon the remnants of the abandoned carnival grounds, overgrown with weeds and swallowed by the passage of time, I can't help but wonder if the carnival clown still roams, lurking in the shadows, waiting for another opportunity to strike. The mere thought sends a chill down my spine, reinforcing my decision to keep my distance and forever avoid that once charming but now haunted place. In the end, the tale of the carnival clown stands as a cautionary reminder that beneath the facade of amusement and entertainment, there may lie a darkness beyond our comprehension, a darkness we must be ever vigilant to confront and defy.